I want to talk a little bit about your process. Like when you make a painting, how does it begin? Where does the idea come from? And then what's the planning stage like? What's your studio like while you're working? You know, is there music on in the background, that
Yeah.
kind of thing? And then how do you know that it's done?
Oh, that's the heavy one. The process, I think it's different for a lot of things. Sometimes I start painting about 5 in the morning usually.
Wow.
5, 6 in the morning.
Early riser.
Well, I have to because my day isn't just painting.
Right.
So at those hours, I don't get any calls. There's usually a radio, like a walkie-talkie nearby. But at those hours, it's relatively really chilled out. And this way, it's quiet, and I get to sit and I can start. Sometimes, I will wake up at times with an idea, and I'll start sketching it. I'll put it down, basic idea, and then I might come down and start putting that on the canvas. That's in a sense one process. The other thing is just really looking, just staring at the canvas where I have sort of like the idea in my head, and I just start to free my mind enough just to work it, to put down the way I feel, really. I can't say there's any particular process, it's just whatever works. Like I said, I usually have a few canvases going at once. And each one has it. Like I said, sometimes it'll be an exact sketch, and then I'll take it different for them. With the figures, usually I will sketch out the figure that I want. And then there are times I'll just go all expressionist on it, just think and get really physical with the canvas. I like using thick canvas because I have a really good conversation with the canvas, and sometimes it's
you get back in there and rework it.
Oh yeah. I like stretching my own canvases also because it's from the beginning to the end, which leads us to say, how do you know when it's finished? So I'm usually told that I have, I feel it's finished when it tells me it's finished.
Okay.
Or when I say shit, I overworked it or something. I'll hang it up when I feel it's gotten to a certain point and just put it on the wall and let it sit until like I said, I know it sounds funny, but it's like a conversation that I'm having with the work. And I will just, when I feel it's done, then it's done. Times I have to force myself to say, don't touch it anymore. And then I'll either try to move on to something else or whatever.
Do you usually work on several paintings at once?
Yeah. Usually there's a few paintings at once that I'm working on. The atmosphere is, I'm playing different types of music throughout the day. Going from Indian, fusion, jazz, rock, blues, whatever. The coffee is always on. You can find me times like just sit there with the classic with the cigarette in the mouth and hands filled with brushes and so on. It's fun. I like my space. I feel it, and I feel it as part of my space. And that's the atmosphere. At times I'll eat here. I mean, my birthday, my family got me a refrigerator and a microwave, so I don't have to stop. And I've been exploring other mediums lately too, which has been fun. Like these behind me were done with spray paint and Rust-Oleum and other acrylics. I don't really like to paint in acrylics that much, but sometimes I've been doing other multimedia pieces, dealing with, in a sense, the situation, which has been nice. I'm supposed to be having a show in Warsaw, the Warsaw Museum of Contemporary Art in November, COVID permitting.
Wow.
Yeah, which is going to be, which is great.
That's really exciting.
It is. It'll be my first museum show in a very long time. It'll be dealing with controversial issues, which is fine for me. I don't mind the fight, but it's nice to get that recognition, and it also gives me motivation to continue, because the art world, as most artists know, not easy, and it's good.
So let's switch topics a little bit and learn more about you as a person. Like, tell us a little bit about Shiloh, where you live, and your family.
So Shiloh is Shiloh's the first capital of Israel. And we moved here, I guess it's a little over 26 years ago. It was a lot smaller. It was more family oriented in the sense that when it was smaller, but now it is growing. The studio is located right next to Tel Shiloh, which is where the Mishkan, or the first, really you want to say temples, that's where the first one was.
How many families were here when you moved?
When we moved here, there was like about 170 families, and now there's like 350.
Okay.
It's growing, developing. It's very central in Israel, which is great for me. Not just for my security work, but also just for getting around the country. It's like smack in the center of the country, which is great. We have 4 kids. They're all out of the house. The little one is still in the army. The little one.
Yeah.
So it's a new experience and being what do they call the nesters?
Empty nester.
Empty nesters, which has
Right.
been interesting, which allows me really to focus back on the art as much as I can, which is nice. The security still pops in more than I'd like it to, but that's what I'm working for.
And your wife is also a very creative person.
She's a weaver. She's got a studio here. Works with ancient crafts, biblical crafts and so on, and has become quite popular in that also as a teacher. So it's the kids grew up with all this creativity around. Well, especially when I left when I stopped being operational security.
Right.
But it's very interesting. So I have 2 boys, 2 girls, and both boys are great musicians. One of them is also 2 of the kids, 1 boy, 1 girl, are both definite artists. There's my oldest daughter is in Bitzalel. Like I said, the youngest one's still in the army. But so there's music, there is art, there's business, and there's still army. So it's I think they grew up having the ability to explore all of those things.
Right.
Growing up in a sense with 2 artists at home.
Sure. Artists are small businesses, by the way, successful ones. So, it's definitely still important that you were pursuing business at first and that that's part
It's
of the
given
deal.
me, yeah. Look, there's a lot of insight into it. Like I said, the art world is very, very different. I'm looking into the NFTs right now, which is
Oh yeah, definitely totally different
weird.
world. For those who don't know, NFTs are digital artworks that are marked so that they're one of a kind and can be sold as such. So you may have an image, a GIF, all sorts of different videos, and you can digitally mark them so that they are one of a kind.
Someone can buy it
Yeah.
for whatever reason they want, which is interesting. So I've been getting told pretty much daily, come on, set it up. So what the hell? No, I'll try it.
We'll get to it. It may not be your thing, and that's also okay.
Yeah. Well, look, I want to survive. I want to stop with the security work eventually.
I don't think painting's going anywhere. They've talked about the death of painting for a long time.
And so it's interesting. I don't know whether you've heard of Arthur C. Danto.
Not sure.
Oh, so I got some books for you.
Okay,
So they've talked about the death of painting from times when Plato wrote the Republic.
Sure. Okay.
So art is not ending. Painting is not ending. It will constantly go on, and I'm looking forward to being able to just really focus my whole being on it,
Right.
and not anything else. Which will be great. Hopefully it'll still provide a living, which will be nice.
Which artists inspire you?
Turner is my hero. I love Turner. It speaks to me. The first time I finally went to London and went into the Tate, I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I was so excited. It was just amazing.
What do you love about Turner?
There's just a feeling that I get, freedom. Well, I can't even put it into words. When I feel that I am up to it, I will attempt to do a Turner, in a sense. And I see other artists who are very, very affected by his work and doing them, and it's something. And I want to get to that. The other artist is a former teacher. I call him my rabbi, my mentor. There's an artist by the name of Marc Provisor, who took me under his wing years ago. The man was just brilliant. He passed away only a few years ago. I've just learned so much from him. Mostly this guy had a show with Chagall. He's got a floor in the Leningrad Museum, and it was just a major influence in my life. And I think that I think that I'm making him smile by getting back to painting. There's so many artists that are much
Sure.
Freud mentioned
Lucien
before.
Freud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so many out there, but those are the 2 biggies on my list.
Is there any artist you feel is overrated, and why do you think
Yeah,
it's overrated?
yeah, absolutely. I hate seeing all this buzz around Banksy and Basquiat. It drives me insane.
How come?
Well, it's funny, I got into a discussion with a major curator
Mm-hmm.
a few days ago on Clubhouse.
Okay.
Well, first of all, because, well, okay, art is turned.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of the things that my mentor taught me, which was something really resonates with me today, he said, you know, artists always have to come up to the critiques and they say, discuss your painting.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, well, discuss it. Tell me about the painting in 3 words or less. And I was trying, well, this, and then I meant this. And he said, are you a philosopher or a painter?
Mm-hmm.
He said, if you can't get what you want out in 3 words, he said, whatever. And it just always stayed with me. And now I see, you know, you go into galleries and you go to things and people are talking for half an hour about the painting.
Mm-hmm.
And it has nothing to do with what they even painted. And you saw all these quasi-artists, you know, oh, they're making a statement.
Mm-hmm.
Well, paint it. And I don't know, just seeing the way these people, millions of dollars are going on works of art where, I don't know, I think it's insane.
Yeah.
Banksy, I look at, you know, with his political involvement, I understand he's got a message that he wants to put out and everything, and I appreciate the images that he's working with. But this, you know, it's like just insane.
The level of popularity, the celebrity around it.
Yeah, you know what? Because okay, the images. Again, I respect the images.
Right.
I really do. I think I definitely give it respect. But the hype going on is just like insane. But I remember walking into a gallery in New York, and I didn't say I was an artist.
Mm-hmm.
And because I was dealing with my day job, if you will, so I was dressed properly, clean shaven, and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And gallery owner comes up and starts like, "Oh, are you interested?" I said, "Sure. Tell me about the work." "Oh, it's a very important work." I said, "Well, what's important about it?" It's been written about in papers. I said, "But tell me what's important about it.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me." I said, "Because I'm not seeing any proper color configuration here. I'm not seeing, you know, any compositional things." "Well, no, it's just very important what the artist is saying." I said, "Tell me what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't I see that?" And I recognize the art business. I remember it was just, it's insane sometimes. And I don't know if people really attach their true feelings to a piece of art necessarily when they see that. And I think that is important. Look, it's a philosophical question.
Yeah.
You know, there are plenty of artists that people like, don't like, and it's very personal, and we have to respect those reasons. But some of the hype in the world is just, you know, we said these NFTs. When you see someone spending millions on a stupid gift, I mean, come on. You know, it just doesn't get there.
Yeah, the money doesn't the amount of money doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so, but it's also what the artist is putting in. I started listening on this Clubhouse thing, and which is brilliant, and I'm listening to other artists and the way they're talking, you're seeing the real feeling, and then you have some jokers come around and they'll pee on a piece of canvas, a banana on a canvas. This is what I was getting. Oh no, it was an important image, it was reflecting this. It's like, cut the bullshit. This guy took a banana, taped it to a piece of canvas, making a statement. I mean, really. You know what, the person that bought it, why don't you go buy a banana, put it on your own canvas, and take that money and give it to charity. Go support some homeless people. Do something good in the world.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's laughing at you. And then the other artist who came and ate the banana, that killed me.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. But I don't know, some of these things, you just walk in these shows and you go, look, it's a business.
Yeah.
It's become that. Yes.
So to wrap up, I wanted to ask you, what do you feel like your biggest win, like your biggest accomplishment so far as an artist is, and what do you want to do next?
I think that, you know, I remember the good old years, like I said, when I was in my 20s,
Mm-hmm.
And when I started getting shows and selling, and I was able to declare myself an artist. I was able to quit the day job and support myself, and I think that was great, having that freedom. And I like coming back into that. Again, I get some responses on the pieces that when people tell me how it speaks to them,
Yeah.
whether it's made people cry, making them smile. If I have to say, that's, to me, is the accomplishment. That when I create a piece and someone feels it and gets affected by it, wow, you know, it's great. making sales again is incredible. Seeing the hope that maybe to support myself as an artist is great. Hoping to fully accomplish that, but the best accomplishment is when people really feel your work.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great. And it jives in a sense with the security thing. By doing what I do, whether I'm grateful that I've been able to have an effect on the security world, being able to prevent attacks, change the way people are protected. And I'm not going to get just into it, but thank God, made a real difference in lives. And that's has always what's kept me in the security world. You know, this will sound a little rough, but when you go out to an attack, when you bring someone back alive, when you come back alive, which is a great thing.
Yeah.
But you feel there's a certain amount, with all the troubled side, you feel a certain amount of sipuk, not accomplishment, but you feel a certain satisfaction that you've made a change. And when I see people react in a sense, all right, it's not that it's affecting their life or death, but when they are feeling affected also with that, it's giving me some of that same feeling of appreciation, of satisfaction, of accomplishment.
Yeah.
And so it's I'm grateful for that. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Thank you so much, Marc. As
Pleasure.
always, it's wonderful to speak with you, and
Always a pleasure.
we'll have more conversations like this
No
in the
choice.
future. And I hope that all of our viewers have enjoyed this interview.
Absolutely.